All right. Hey, Colby and Kau'i here today from KCMG Real Estate Advisors and Downingtown Life. Today we are with Anthony Latino Jr., the owner of U-neek Computer Services, which is a local Downingtown-based company that provides services on a much larger scale internationally, I believe, as well. So welcome, Anthony.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate
Thanks
you.
for taking the time.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you. And tell us how you got started in your business and how long you've been running.
So I tell people all the time, I started like a lot of the greats. I started out of my parents' garage. Been in business about 20 years now. I started ripping apart computers when I was like 10 years old when we got our first computer, and instantly knew that was something that I wanted to do. I just focused on going in that direction from that day forward. So even growing up, I took courses. Even in middle school, high school, I took every possible class possible to just hone in on what everything, the technology that was getting thrown my way.
Yeah, which computers have changed quite a bit, haven't they?
Okay.
That's why we need people like you.
No, that's great. It's good to know what you're working with, but yeah, we are needed probably more than people realize. A lot of people do take it upon their own to try to learn and do those things, but you really should have a professional. So
Sure. So in building your business over these past 20 years, what's the general approach? Is it through advertising and you provide a contract of services and then move on to the next, or is it just establishing relationships and kind of word of mouth and repeat business?
the majority of my business growth has been through word of mouth. Right? Referrals are the best source. I have a lot of roots here in Downingtown. I have a lot of friends. I network just like you guys. So, I think what has helped me grow is, and differentiates me from other technicians or people in my field, is I am a little bit more personable. I do take the time to put myself in the other people's shoes. I listen to their pain points, and I try to get to the bottom of them and how I can help them grow and remedy their situations.
What are some of the most common IT challenges that your clients are facing right now?
Just staying up with the security.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's getting harder and harder to do the right thing, even if you think you are. There's a lot of phishing attempts going out there daily. You're getting emails from FedEx or other
Amazon
providers that, hey, you have tracking. Click here to log in and check on your order. Not legitimate. There's stuff even coming through the regular mail. It's just, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there trying to do harm. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of security needs more than anything else.
Yeah. And how are you addressing those? What are some best practices to, like, when should someone call you and versus just know not to click on a link? Like, when is it too, I guess, late, if you will, and they're like really needing a different level of technical support to make sure their system is secure?
As soon as you notice something different, or somebody contacts you and said they received an email from you that you didn't send, or things like that, there are the times you want to disconnect the computer from the internet, give a professional a call, and ask what the next steps are. Now, our residential users will say immediately take it offline, call your bank, watch your credit cards, and bring it into us, and we'll make sure that anybody that's in the computer is out of it, if that is the case, if that's the way they got into it. But a lot of this is done remotely. A lot of people are using the same passwords to log into multiple different sites, banks, things like that. So we do try to educate our clientele on the best practices. We do tell everybody not to use the same passwords across the board. We offer password manager tools. Just educating the user. I mean, there's no better method than teaching somebody what to look out for.
So in addition to your day-to-day IT support, that you're providing services on a continual basis for companies, and then the problem solving when people have a security issue, I believe you do actual hardware and computer repair as well, correct?
Yeah, we do. So when I started my company, I started in like the residential side, in-home repair. So if you had a broken screen on your laptop, keyboard stopped working, you got a virus, things like that. So that's not something that I wanted to break away from. I still wanted to offer the in-home services, even though the majority of our business is with commercial companies. So yes, we still have a whole service repair side of it where we allow walk-ins. We don't need anything scheduled. You can come in 9 to 5. Right now, our repair facility hours are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's just to give us some time where we get overloaded. So yeah, we started in general repair, but it's become so much more than that nowadays, where our main focal point is IT services. For companies that don't have internal IT, we are their internal IT.
Yeah, so you bring up a good point. And so I imagine that you get involved with networking and hooking up printers and other devices and things of that nature, surveillance, backup services. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I can touch on some of the services that we offer. But, to circle back to the, becoming their in-house IT, we do everything from account management, whether they're onboarding a new hire or offboarding someone. We are involved from start to finish. If permissions need to be adjusted. So we do everything from the account level, where we're creating an account for a new hire that needs to get deployed on a computer, or setting that computer up, or then bringing it to the company or shipping it out depending on the location. So we're on top of just account management. We do network management, so we install networks and we manage those networks and look for security loopholes, and we're constantly patching and updating equipment and looking through our logs daily to make sure everything's on the up and up. And like you said, I think you touched on surveillance. We do surveillance installations along with door access. So we'll do like door accesses, setups that have key fobs and entry points like that. We'll install those. They're all built off of internet-based solutions now. So the only thing really that my company doesn't offer is we don't build custom software, which is not to be confused with, we have a whole website design and marketing department as well. So
for someone like me, like a normal user, like a one guy who wants to upgrade their router and kind of see or optimize their performance on their home internet, is that something that you can help with, or no?
So if it's a business type user, like if you have a home-based business, we will cater to that. But in order to properly manage or understand what's going on in your home, like normally we'd recommend putting in the equipment that we work with, so that if you're having an issue, we can log in and we can find the issue immediately. We'll always give you advice, if it's not a fit, where it's just not in the budget for someone, or it just doesn't make sense to put in some commercial grade network equipment. We'll always have a conversation. We'll try to educate you and put you on the right path, even if it's not for us.
What is the difference between using a local help desk guy at a local computer store versus using your services?
So without naming names of companies, there are two big mainstream box stores that have repair facilities that 90% of what they repair gets sent out the door. It's not done in-house. Their main objective is to sell you a new piece of hardware with a warranty. They're not looking to repair your computer. They're going to offer you some sort of money, amount of money to recycle the computer or discount off the sale. And what they're doing is they're rehabbing those computers and they're actually reselling them. So they're sort of double dipping. It's not very honest, but that's their method. They're not there to cater to the repair. They where we do consider that, we'll educate the person coming through the door. If it's not worth fixing, we don't want you to put money into it.
Got it. Thanks.
So let's go back to talking about cybersecurity and data backups and so forth for a minute. I'm just curious, I'm sure that's changing so rapidly. So, like our accountant is constantly taking seminars on new tax laws and things like that. But what do you need to do to kind of stay up to date on what's happening? And is there any kind of general advice that you give to your clients to watch out for and to, that will help you to get involved at the right time?
Yeah, so it's ever changing. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's hard to keep up. Myself and my team, we're constantly educating ourselves, reading up on new releases from Microsoft or Apple or some of the software companies that we work with. They're usually pretty ahead of some of this stuff, and then it's on to us to, it's up to us to pass that information along to our customers. So if you're a service-based customer of ours and you have a contract, we mass email out to the leads of those companies and saying, hey, this is what's coming down the pipeline, look out for it. Depending on what's coming our way, we try to stay in front of it the best we can, but we're constantly reading up and watching videos and taking classes and getting certifications.
Yeah, I feel like everything is constant, especially technology has such exponential growth. And just like with real estate, as all the laws have started changing and relationship contracts are changing constantly, we just got to stay on top of it if you're active. So let's talk a little bit about that web design, search engine optimization, and marketing, and how important is that for small businesses? And, what are some of the big mistakes that small companies can make when it comes to basic web design and SEO?
So it's very important. When I started the Yellow Book and the white pages were still a thing.
Right.
And I remember paying a lot.
Now we're showing our age.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember paying a lot of money to get into the Yellow Book, and there was a game and a strategy there. That stuff's gone. I would say the print marketing is a way of the past. It does work for some, but majority of the people out there trying to build a business, the web presence is the most important. And whether it's just, you want a website to just justify that you're a legitimate company, it's just for legitimacy, fine. But we always, again, everything we do is trying to educate, right? So you can have the most gorgeous website that is out there, but if no one sees it, what good is it, right? So I always tell people it's like having a Lamborghini in the garage and you don't have the keys to drive it. So, that's the simplest way I can put it. Whether you're, you just put a little bit of money towards marketing each month or a lot of money, you got to play the game with Google. There's several methods of getting word out and getting your website seen. But it does take a professional. I mean, there are people that do take it upon themselves and they can get some traction. But to really get your word of your company out there, you have to pay a professional because it's a full-time job. It's not something you can just pick at here and there, or that's what you're going to get, right? You're going to get sporadic hits here and there.
That's reason enough to call you right there, All right. So looking ahead and what's next for your business, are there any exciting technologies or services that you're looking forward to implementing in your business?
Service-wise, I think at some point we want to get back into in-home repair. We did it in the beginning where we actually had trucks on the road and we would go out to house and fix issues. But we have gotten away from that, and I feel like most companies also don't offer that anymore. I feel like there is an abundance of work there, especially the elderly people that can't make it. Maybe they can't drive and make it into your location, or they just think there's an untapped market there that people have gotten away from, that one-on-one care.
I love that. That makes total sense. I mean, having feet on the street is definitely a little bit more time consuming to get out to people's homes, but I think there is a huge untapped market there too.
And I would say the other thing that I'd like to implement in the future is, when I built the business, I had in mind that I was trying to build a brand. So I think some point, I don't know if it's the near future or further out, but I do want to franchise my business at some point. Absolutely.
One last question I have that we didn't touch on yet today. It's kind of a two-part thing, but I just want to get your take, your input on the benefits and the concerns with the advancement of AI technology.
That's a good question.
And I know that's a big subject. Just on top of your thing, one thing you're excited about and one thing you're concerned about with AI.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's a great question. I feel like every meeting I go into, it comes up and it's becoming more prevalent. We use AI every day, and I will tell you that everybody I speak with, I tell them, listen, learn it, get in front of it now. It's not going away. It's only going to help you do your job better. I believe they're already teaching it in colleges. There's courses. We're constantly learning all the new tools, and we're trying to utilize them daily to be more efficient. That's what they're here for. I think the common fear amongst most people is they think AI is going to take jobs. I don't believe that. I believe the people that know how to use AI are going to be the ones taking the jobs. So be the driver, get in front of it now. Again, it's not going away. It's here to make us more efficient. It's just, I wish more people would get in front of it and learn it.
Great. Well, it's really been a pleasure chatting with you today and get to know a little bit more about your business. We really appreciate your time and appreciate your commitment to local communities. Again, Colby and Kau'i here today with Anthony Latino Jr. from Uneek Computer Services. And we want to thank you for being here, and please remember to support your local businesses and your local community.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a good time. Thank you.
Thanks.